Alright, here for round 3. Gonna try and avenge our loss last round. Maybe avenge isn't the right word there. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. But winning is not gonna start with this hand, I don't think. So I think this is a pretty easy mulligan. And this is a pretty reasonable hand. So not looking too bad. Of note, we have 2 1-mana blue spells. So in order to play 3 spells by turn 2, since we have this land that basically only taps for blue, we're going to have to play a blue spell on turn 1. So could lead with the training grounds. And then we could fetch before we Serum Visions, which would be kind of nice. And our opponent might be on Twin, but obviously it could be, you know, anything at this point, really. It could be like a Delver deck. So I think leading on training grounds is probably fine. Maybe get some more info as to what our opponent is up to. And also confuse the hell out of our opponent, which is kind of nice. What's blue-green that has training grounds? I don't know. Alright, so now I think it's pretty safe to Inquisition him and then Serum Visions. Maybe play Tasker and start doing some stuff. So I am just going to get basic Swamp here. I do think my life total matters because he has Grim Lavamancer. Obviously not the biggest of threats, but only a Lightning Bolt and a Snapcaster away from dying. And although I would like to have multiple blue sources for Tassiger, or, you know, green sources, I think we can get that with our next land. Alright, so we have Bolt, Electrolyze, Spell Snare, Remand, and a Stomping Ground. So, it has Spell Snare for our Goyf, Remand for our Tassiger, so we can pick and choose either one of those. And I think it's probably going to be easier to play Tarmogoyf and defend it. So, might just play the Spell Snare, and then he'll probably also Remand our Goyf. So then maybe Tassiger is free after that. So I think that's the best way to do things. Bait out the Remand with the Tarmogoyf, and then Tassiger might be good to go. And these cards basically stink. So I'm going to ship these. I could use a 3rd land. And I don't really want redundant copies of things that I have, so... It's pretty good that he doesn't have any combo pieces, and then we don't really have to worry about that. So it is mostly just about sticking a threat and seeing where that goes. And he's Stomping Ground. Use Stomping Ground paying the life, it looks like. So probably is going to Pestermite me or something. Maybe cycling an Electrolyze. So I think we just run Goyf out there. It is a 3/4. He could remove an instant with Lavamancer and bolt it. So I don't think he has to remand it, I guess. Alternatively, we could just do the same play we did last turn, which is Inquisition and Serum Visions. I think that's okay. He might remand the Inquisition, but that's fine. Then we'll still have it for next turn to maybe take his bolt. So we're kind of slow in getting things going, but I think it's okay since we're not under a ton of pressure, and he's not really threatening to combo kill us at any point either. So yeah, he does have a Pestermite, but doesn't have a Twin or a 4th land, so we don't have to be too concerned about that, I don't think. So yeah, I think we do just want to take Remand, Serum Visions again. And now we have Pack Rat and a Dark Slick Shore. So both of these are pretty reasonable, although our hand size is kind of low. And our Goyf is still only a lowly 3/4. So I'm not sure if Pack Rat can actually do stuff through his Bolts, Electrolyzes, and Grim Lavamancer. So I think we are just on the Tassiger plan. So now that we have Forest, we might just go bottom. Because if I keep Pack Rat, I kind of have to keep the Black Source too. So yeah, I think we're just bottoming here. And then next turn, we can play Tasigur with Breeding Pool Forest open. But then he can Bolt. Well, we can counter that. So, yeah, I think we're doing okay. I could have drawn the Dark Slick Shores there instead of the Forest. That would have been pretty good. Because then I could have 4 mana next turn. I could play Tasigur or Tarmogoyf and have Stubborn Denial, which would be pretty nice. But yeah, I could also just draw a land. But we drew a Tarmogoyf instead. So do we want to keep any of these cards in the graveyard? I feel like we're going to have to Stubborn Denial his Lightning Bolt. I should check to see... Oh, he went top. So that's kind of dangerous. Well, what if we play Tarmogoyf? Play Goyf this turn, lose that to a Lightning Bolt, and then play Tasigur next turn, and then we can still have Stubborn Denial for a Splinter Twin. Doesn't seem like the worst thing in the world, although we certainly have to be concerned about these Pestermite beats. And he removed his sorceries, which is kind of strange. I feel like... I mean, I guess he does have Snapcaster Mage. That might be a thing. So maybe he wants to keep all his instants. I guess that would make sense. Land, please. It's an Inquisition. Vendilion Click. That's not good. Again, this is one of those games where I feel like I have a bunch of stuff. I just end up being a little too far behind somehow. Just kind of missing on lands. Maybe I should have kept that Dark Slick Shores even though it was like really slow. Because it would have been better than not having it at all, probably. So his last card's an Electrolyze. But I think I might just die to the 2-1 and the 3... Okay, well, he left me with all my stuff, so that's kind of good. So, I'm going to take 5 down to 7. He can Lavamancer me and Electrolyze me. And that will put me to 3, and then I'm dead to both Pestermite and Lavamancer and Vendilion Click. So, I could slow roll one of these things in order to Inquisition him first. I think that's probably worth it, I guess. You take the Electrolyze, play out Tarmogoyf. Can Lavamancer me down to 10, attack me down to 5. So my math was a little off there. So I would have been much lower. So yeah, I definitely think I have to get rid of that Electrolyze. But he didn't even Lavamancer me. He wanted his top card. And if that's the case, maybe he should have attacked with Lavamancer. I don't really know. But I am just dead, which is unfortunate. So he died to his little beaters. Lavamancer stayed in play for far too long, I think. So, how do we want to sideboard against Twin? Spells Guide's probably pretty good. And then I can see the Dispels being pretty good too. I would expect some sort of cheap counter magic from him. Dispel out of the sideboard. Something like that. So Cryptic is probably not going to be very good just because it's too expensive. And then I kind of like all my cards. Pack Rat might just not be great against him. Maybe I want to Thoughtseize. So now I have 2 cards left to cut. It could be another Pack Rat, another Training Grounds. Or just like cut all the Training Grounds, I guess. Or leave 1 in or something. I don't think I mind 2 and 2. It's kind of weird. Maybe I just have too much counter magic. Obviously, Stubborn Denial didn't do a whole lot that game. Maybe I could have played the game in such a way where it actually would have done something. Maybe that would have helped. And then maybe I could have used a discard spell on his Pestermite or something. Then I don't have to worry about the combo. And I think the Pestermite dealt me like 6 damage also. So we'll try 2 Training Grounds, 2 Pack Rats. I don't think that's right. That certainly doesn't look right. And this hand is pretty bad. It's like got a bunch of good cards, but we can't cast Decay, and we have a double Tasigur hand. Plus, we can't put things in the yard for Tasigur, so I think this is a pretty easy mulligan. And this hand is fairly legit. So definitely want a black source off that Verdant Catacombs, and then maybe we can just play a Tarmogoyf and protect it with some Dispels. The problem here is running Tarmogoyf out when it can get bolted. So I think I'm just going to Serum Visions here. I think we just get a Watery Grave. We definitely want a black source, and another blue source would be nice. So we'll just get the Watery Grave, cast Serum Visions, maybe hit a land. Then we can play Goyf with the spell backup. The land we hit is a Dark Slick Shore, so that's pretty good. We definitely want to bottom this second Tasigur. So keep the 3rd land. Did draw into another Tarmogoyf too, so that might be helpful. And he has the Lighthouse as a 2nd land, so either has a Remand and a bunch of shock lands, or just has a 2-lander. But if his hand was a bunch of shock lands, he probably would have saved the fetch to get a basic, and then would have played the shock land, so I think he is just short on mana. So we're going to force this Goyf through, and because we have instant sorcery land, it's going to be big enough to live through a bolt, and then I would not be surprised if he didn't have a 3rd land. Or yeah, I guess if it was a shock land. Double bolt? Deal. I will take that anytime. Now we have a 4/5 Goyf, also with Dispel backup. And we can play Tasigur at some point, although we have to be careful about what cards we exile because of the Tarmogoyf. But since we drew a fetch land, that means we don't actually have to remove very many cards at all. So, looks like Tarmogoyf's going to get tapped down here. So now he has instant land. So I could play Tasigur, expose my Goyf to Bolt, but then I get to activate Tasigur, so that's not the end of the world, I guess. But the issue is, like, he might not have another Bolt because he's already used 2, but he could have a Snapcaster Mage. I guess I could still dispel it if it comes to that, so it's not the worst thing. So, yeah, we're going to try and get a little greedy here. We're going to try and draw some cards because he's threatening the twin combo and all we have is a dispel. So hopefully he just misses on a land drop or is too scared to go for it in the face of our 4 open mana. Alternatively, I guess I could have milled main phase to maybe hit something. Then, if he has the twin combo, he just goes for it, unless he's super scared of Slaughter Pact. Yeah, so I'm kind of expecting to get hit with a Snapcaster here. Which may have just been my mistake. Yep. It's okay, though. He's got to bolt it now, and then there's a Tarmogoyf from the graveyard that he could potentially give me. So we pick up a Thought Scour, have another land, and I think I just want to Tassiger now. Hopefully we don't mill basic forest, because that's what I'm planning on fetching here probably. But if that's the case, I should just do it right away, I think. So Stubborn Denial, Thoughtseize, or Tarmogoyf. What do you want to give me? All of these are great options for me. Gives me Stubborn Denial. Okay. So now we have 2 counter spells, one of which he knows about. So now we're kind of safe from the twin combo, and I guess we're just kind of racing. And he has a Sower. That's gross. That's not cool, man. Okay, so we pick up a copy of Pack Rat, but we're really far behind now. This is bad news. We only have 2 Dismembers to fight against that thing. And there's the Thoughtseize. It would have been nice to pick up before. Alright, so what happens? We Thoughtseize, we go to 9 life. That means we have to block Tassiger. And then we're dead to a Bolt or a Snapcaster, but we do get to Thoughtseize him, so... I don't know. Ooh. Those cards are gross. Definitely not looking good. We just kind of got wrecked this match, too. So it looks like he's going for Twin. But he could twin his Sower or something if he wanted to. Obviously, he should just try and kill me, but now I have to stub the twin and then block Tassiger, so I'm at 3, and I can really only draw Dismember now. And he still has a negate, so I think I'm just dead. So, yeah. Alright, that's it. Man, 1 and 2. I don't think this deck is that bad. Like, obviously, we're doing some stuff, and we kind of just, like, rolled over our first round opponent, but... yeah, maybe like the Stubborn Denial and stuff is like a little too much, so I'm definitely going to play out the 4th round and see how that goes and get a little more experience playing with the deck and whatnot, but I do think there's something going on here. We just have to figure it out.